This is Rumba.
Rumba, R-H-U-M-B-A.
All right, cool.
He says, I don't care anyway.
Oh, he's all right. Look
He
at
says,
the
I
little
don't
hoof.
care.
That's funny. Like a little goat hoof.
Yeah, he says, I just rather be eating. But, I know, buddy, come on.
Got a lot of hoof, huh?
Little bitty hooves.
How their hoofs grow.
Horses' hooves definitely grow faster in the summertime. They grow faster in the summertime. And the more rain we get, the more heat they grow. And they will, 6 weeks, they'll be ready to be trimmed. And now in the winter time, they slow up. So you can go 8, 9 weeks, and they're still sometimes not ready to be trimmed. But most of the time, around 8 or 9 weeks, 8 weeks at least.
In the wintertime.
In the wintertime. In the summertime, we get the rain, their hooves are soft. So they break up and they'll break right off. Yeah, these didn't separate and get muck in there in them hoof walls like when you see when I trim all this down, it'll be hoof. And there's really nothing to doctor in there.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. See, all clean?
Yeah.
See, it's all, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
There's not as much to cut.
Yeah, that's true.
If you keep them trimmed now.
Yeah, you can almost...
If somebody don't keep them trimmed up, these little rascals can grow elf shoes.
I've seen it.
And
yeah.
then you got a nightmare on your hands.
Like
but normally, what's the difference? The hooves are so small. When I run that rasp down there, I don't have to go to each side of the foot. I can just run it right down the whole hoof, and it levels them right up. Let's see. Come on there, little guy. He says, man, you better hurry up because I got food to eat.
Rumba.
Rumba, yep. See, we got a little break right here. Watch this. Now, see, I will put a little medicine in this one here.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a little break right here. See that muck in there? Yep. So I'll doctor this one right in there. This break right here, that's a good example of why they separate. They'll get this, and then this will, instead of breaking off, it keeps pulling out. So it widens out here, and as you can see, there it is. It gets that crap in there. So we got to try to just open it up, put some medicine in there. He's fine. That is not going to cause a problem. That's typical horse hoof stuff in Florida. I see it all the time. Oh, he had to shake.
Flies.
Yep. See, now this didn't break off as much as the other ones did. See?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see the difference. There's the one back one I did, and here's this one. I don't know if you can see the difference. Just a hair, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit longer.
Now this piece here.
Yeah, see? I got to cut that hangnail off,
Mm-hmm.
just like on people.
So it'll be a little
If you don't cut it off, it's just going to keep separating.
Yeah.
Can you see that little black ring, that little black right there?
Yep.
That's from pulling apart. Okay, so you got to open all that junk up so you can get some medicine in there. See, this is what I'm talking about, see? This is why it's easier. See, my rasp just covers the whole hoof. And it's done. It's level now, see?
They're cute.
See, now see the
got
difference in what it looks like when I trimmed it?
Yeah.
It's almost gone.
Yeah.
But you got a little bitty right here that I want to make sure it doesn't get infected. Oop, you got away from me. I wasn't done. Let me see. Right here. There we go. All right, one more foot. As you can tell, the little ponies are just like, they just got no fear. He's just wondering, what is he doing? What are you doing over here? What's going on here, huh? This one's a little, this frog here has a little thrush in it.
Yeah.
Now you see him jump when I've tried to dig it out? So this one definitely needs some medicine in there. It's not bad.
Go ahead and talk about
But
thrush.
as you can see, I don't know, you noticed on the other frogs, see these indentions down in here that's kind of rotty and kind of thin? He's sore right here, see that? So all you can do is just trim off these pieces like this. It's called thrush. It usually gets into the frogs of horses. It's a common thing in the wet times. It happens.
People get it like on their throat and their tongue and stuff like that, right? Same kind of thing.
I think it's the same, but this is more of a distant a fungus they get around their frog, and it literally rots the frog out. So you got to open it up and get some medicine in there. In the summertime in Florida, bacteria thrives in the wet, in the heat, in the ground. So they pick all this junk up from the ground, and it just starts living in the hoof, and it causes it literally eats the hoof, the frog away. But in the wintertime, it's hard for that stuff to live. So now you can have thrush in the wintertime, but normally the thrush is in there already and it just stays alive with itself. But if you keep it trimmed, it usually goes away. Now here's right here. See, right in this frog. Yeah. Now, this stuff I'm putting in here.
He might feel that.
Nope, he shouldn't. Yeah. Normally they don't, but he might. But normally they don't.
So how is that going to affect the frog? And his leg health? And
any kind of germs that are in there right now is dead.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like burning them right out of there. We keep him trimmed every 6 weeks.
Cleaned up and then
clean it back out again and doctor it. Normally when I come back out again, it should be gone.
He looks good. Rumba.
Rumba, rumba. Here we go.
All right,
girl.
this is
See her pick it right up.
Lady picks up her foot.
Yep.
She knows the drill.
She does. Little bit right there.
Yeah.
That's just common in Florida in the rainy season. That's
it's like flies.
If you're gonna sit there and worry and cry about that, then you might as well get rid of horses in Florida, because you're gonna have thrush. You just have to try to stay on top of it and doctor it. If we weren't trimming this horse and at least opening it up like I'm doing and putting some medicine there, and if the owner would, once in a while throw some, I don't even care if it's bleach water, just something there to kill the germs, it could get worse. It could get to where it rots out the whole frog, where they will be lame. That's it. Looks like blood, but it's iodine.
Did you see that?
See, yeah, this one's trying to get a little bit too. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Right there. Here's the healthy side here. See, nothing. Now let me see if I can. See, you can't cut here, but you can get it on this side. See, now watch. See, you got a little bit to open up there. But you see, if you used to start trying to get every little crevice open, this is real thin here, and you are going to cut them if you keep doing around. Many horses are a lot of times just for pets, but they can pull little wagons, you'd have to have a couple of them to pull a wagon, and you can't ride them. You could probably put
actually, you guys can change this, but my 4-year-old,
a little baby.
she was 4. She did ride.
I was just about to say you can put a small child on them, but of course an adult cannot ride them.
No way, an adult can drive. No.
But you can put a small child on them and ride them around. Absolutely. Little ponies that have got the big horse syndrome, they can be a little more pushy than a big horse. They can, not all these guys here are fantastic. These guys are great, but they can be a little more bossy. Matter of fact, I hear a lot of people tell me that the boss in the pasture out there, even with all the big horses, is that little bitty mini horse over there.
That's funny.
She rules the roost. She chases all the big horses away. As you can see, she's not fighting me. She's not giving me no trouble. Now, I've trimmed some of them before that hadn't been trimmed very much, and they didn't want to do it. And they give me a good fight, let me tell you what. See, there's nothing there on this one.
That one's good.
Nothing there. It's all healthy. Did you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing there. No thrush nowhere. I've seen farriers use them loot knives, and they'll get down in between. Let me tell you something. That's fine. I'm not knocking them, but you ain't got very much here. You start digging in here very much, trying to get every last piece of that dirt out. It's just too scary for me. I don't want to get down there to the thin hoof.
Be packed back in there in 5 seconds anyways.
Right, exactly. It's going to be dirty right back in there as soon as they walk out in that pasture. See, she don't mind. She just like, I wish you would hurry up. She goes, I wish you would hurry up and get done. Well, here's how I look at it. If they're not trimmed right and they got a lot of toe really far out there and it's causing tendon pressure, they definitely feel better. But when they're kept on a trim schedule like this is me now, okay, this is James's theory. They more or less treat it like they're getting groomed or petted. But no, they should not be able to feel a difference when I'm done trimming. They shouldn't be able to feel that much different. But they do attribute it to being petted or groomed, things like that. But unless there is a really massive amount of length that's causing them tendon pressure or their legs to hurt or whatever, I don't think they really can tell the difference, no. Look at her. If she thought I was hurting her or she didn't like it, would she be sitting there smelling me? And see, look at her. She's trying to get my ear again is what she's doing.
James, a little kiss.
Are you trying to get my ear? Sometimes horses are just like, well, I just don't want this done. And they're pulling their feet. They'll let me do it, but nah. They'd rather be eating hay or something and not being bothered with me.
Sure.
But see, even though she's like, but you see when I'm trimming them, when they're sitting there smelling of you and doing that, they're not liking it. So they're like, well, he's paying attention to me, huh? So I'm getting something done, right? There you go.